that itself is evidence. And
John's Gospel.
No one died.
So let's just understand the Bible was reliable. Start with Gospel of John. Is the Gospel of John giving us true historical information?
It's yes. Well, I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's backed by other.
But it doesn't have early attestation. It's late.
How do you mean? It's what do you mean?
What do historians say about who wrote John and when was John writing?
He wasn't an eyewitness.
Yeah, so it's not an early eyewitness
I don't
writing.
know the exact date.
Yeah, so it's a writing by someone who's not an eyewitness. So then we already have a layer of uncertainty.
He was an eyewitness to the times. He was there and he saw what people did.
Whatever he say, is it backed up by other writings?
The Gospels, the other Gospels.
Other writings? Why is it not called a synoptic gospel?
Also Acts.
Why is the Gospel of John not called a synoptic gospel?
I don't know. You tell me.
That's your book.
Because it's what you're the answering the question.
Because it doesn't have all the same kind of information content that you would expect from history. So John's Gospel, according to historians, is a projection of John putting his own word, the word of John, into the mouth of Jesus, not historical. If you talk about history, that's what historians say.
Couldn't you say the same about the Quran?
We're not discussing the Quran now. Let's not conflate this. So looking at the Bible, so the Bible is not a reliable piece of information according to the historian. The Gospel of John, for example.
Why is the Quran?
No, we'll come back later. Let's deal with the Bible. Once we now know what the Bible is like and whether it's reliable or unreliable, then we can move on. So, for example, Gospel of John, according to the historians, they say the writer projects his own words into the mouth of Jesus, which the historical Jesus didn't say.
Well, it aligns with the synoptics.
No. There are many things which doesn't align, and that's why it's outside. I don't need to, because what I'm asking you to do is this. Listen.
It is evidence.
Why is it not called a synoptic gospel? It's a well-known study in the gospel, the Jesus or historical or textual criticism, in which you have the three gospels called the synoptic gospels, and John is not considered by this scholarship, by historians. That's for a reason, because it doesn't align with everything with the other gospels. The other gospels do, that's why they're included with the synoptic tradition.
Why do you only care about John? Why is the focus?
No, I'm just showing you, I picked up arbitrarily a book from the Bible showing you how it doesn't provide us with reliable historical information.
Can you analyze it instead of making it clear?
That's what the scholars have analyzed.
No, you need to give examples.
The scholars have given example. All his sayings about what Jesus said, for example, none of the other gospels say what he says. All the I am sayings you aren't able to find in the other synoptic gospels. So I've just told you. The I am sayings.
I need evidence.
That's the evidence. The I am this, I am that. All of this I am sayings in the Gospel of John, you can't find them in the other three Gospels.
How many I am sayings are there?
Since you don't...
Before Abraham was I am.
Look. No. I am this, I am that. When he's describing about himself, you would expect if someone walks around in history and is saying I am this and I am that, this information, if it's heard by various people, they will be repeating it. The fact that John is isolated in this and none other gospel writers, do you know how many gospels there were written at that time? Or within the, say, first 200 years? How many gospels were written?
There are a few forgeries.
Why are there forgeries and who forged them?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
Go on, tell me.
It's interesting that you say forgeries. Did these people who wrote, like the Gospel of St. Thomas, Gospel of Philip, Gospel of Mary, Gospel of Infancy, Gospel of Judas, and various others, the people who wrote them, it looks like they believed in that figure called Jesus. And you call it forgery. I have the same question for you. The Gospels that you currently believe, which is in the Bible now, also written by people who believed in Jesus. Why isn't that a forgery?
Because they're eyewitness accounts, first of all.
John is not an eyewitness.
Yes.
So is that a forgery?
Okay, the synoptics.
No. Let's stick with John. Once we agree on something, is John a forgery? It's not an eyewitness.
It's certainly less of a forgery than the Quran.
Hang on, we're not discussing with the Quran. It's not going to help you here right now. Your allusion to Quran is not going to help your problem.
But you're trying to persuade me to believe in the Quran.
No. I'm trying to understand your position as a Christian. Why are you a Christian? Why do you not identify yourself as a Muslim?
Okay, look, I'm going to need to go home and analyze it myself. Could you give me some examples?
Okay, so let's deal with the other three Gospels.
Yeah.
Okay, Gospel of Matthew. He gives us, at the first page of his Gospel, I'm going to give you three examples, and this is example number one. He tells you these are all the genealogies of people, all the way to Jesus Christ and so on, right? And he makes people, and he says these are all the generations from Abraham to David, from David to the exile to the Babylon, and from that to Jesus Christ. 3 steps of 14 generations. He says these are all the generations. The problem is, that's not historically true. That's an error or a deliberate distortion. So either you say he made an error in the first book of his gospel by saying these are all the generations, or he's actually telling information which is incorrect, meaning a lie.
Where is it proven to be a lie? Or
Yeah. So when we look at the Old Testament book of Chronicles, yeah, chapter 3, for example, verses 15, 16, thereabouts, you will see these people are mentioned there. And you will see he has omitted certain names.
is this Genesis?
No, Chronicles. He's omitted certain names, and the people who are omitted, you might think they're not significant, right? You might think he's just omitted to make look like nice figure 14. When we look, the people he's omitted, like one of the people's name he's omitted is within this line. Josiah begat Jeconiah and the brothers. But Josiah was the grandfather of Jeconiah. There's a middleman omitted, his name is Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim. When we go and find out Jehoiakim in the old history, there is a clear information from God saying, Jehoiakim, you are cursed. God curses Jehoiakim and says, you and all your descendants, none of them will ever have the right to the throne of David. And what Matthew does from the very beginning, he wants to make Jesus the son of David to sit on the throne of David. So if you had Jehoiakim in there, it's a self-defeating.
How do you spell that? Sorry,
Jehoiakim. 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 Yeah, it's like Matthew chapter 1, verse 10, 11, thereabouts, right? So now we find historical data and the motive why the Gospel of Matthew writer, whoever who wrote it, he took that name away because if he had Jehoiakim in there, then he cannot say Jesus is the son of David because God curses Jehoiakim and anyone that comes from that line in the genealogy. So either he is making an error of history because he doesn't know history, or he's deliberately lying. That's example number one. Think about it later. Example number two. Take the next page. Just open up. We just open up the Bible. The next page. Same Matthew says, as was spoken by the prophets, that he shall be called a Nazarene. A Nazarene. So he's prophesying that Jesus was prophesied by people in the past by the prophets. If you go and ask any Christian scholar or any Jewish scholar, now or earlier, you would not find anywhere in the living tradition in which there was a prophet in the Jewish tradition who prophesied that he will be called a Nazarene. It simply doesn't exist.
in the Old Testament.
That's the Jewish tradition, the Old Testament.
I mean, the Old Testament's quite big. So
Yeah, it doesn't exist. That's what I'm saying. Reflect on it later, because this is common knowledge. Jewish people highlight this. This is why one of the reasons why they don't accept him as the Messiah is because of all of these writings about him and so on. It's not reliable. So there is nothing from their prophetical books by any prophet who said he shall be called a Nazarene. My final example. He talks about during end of the time, end of Jesus Christ's ministry, there was a plot to crucify him, and the world was such that, you know what, the graves opened up, and there were dead bodies of the saints, opened up in multitudes, and they went to the city in multitudes. If that was a historical information, just imagine, graves opening up here, and dead bodies in their skeleton waking up, and they're walking like zombies.
This is
And
when Jesus rose from the dead and then the
yeah. If that happened here, and you are the only people talking about this, no other recorders, whether they're recording in the social media or people going talking to their friends, no one mentioned this. Not even the other Gospels. Not Luke, not Mark, not John, none of them. So information like this is expected to be written by other gospels at least, because it's more.
They don't have to agree on every single line.
Look. It's not something like this. It's resurrection of dead people going to the cities in multitude. The people who are atheists and Jews and Romans and pagans, they'll be talking about it in their chronicles, in their stories to their children, like this is what happened. It will be an evidence for the resurrection.
Yeah,
but no one talks about it.
Yeah. Where would it be spoken about in the Bible? Where else would it be spoken about in the other Gospels?
Other Gospels don't talk. No one, no chroniclers, whether they're pagan or Jewish, no one talks about it. So if dead people came up from here and only you talked about it, and you went to the paper, the Sun or whatever, and no one else says, there's no corroboration, they will say, oh, it's a fishy story. I mean, what were you drinking at that time?
I know about the story, and to be honest, it's very trivial.
It's not trivial.
It's nothing compared to the resurrection.
Dead people coming, okay.
People are really talking about the resurrection.
What is more significant, more miraculous? The resurrection of one man or many men coming from the graves?
It depends on the context, because the resurrection of one man, if that man means God is real.
They haven't even seen him dead. How is that significant? So they haven't even seen him directly that he's dead, crucified. So it was a rumor that went around. That's why I asked you, is there a historical evidence for his crucifixion? So that's why, do you know, there is not a historian who believes there is a historical evidence for his resurrection?
If they didn't see Jesus as dead, how did he get into the tomb?
When you ask about history, do you know of any credible historian from non-Muslim camp? Forget the Muslims, non-Muslim historians, scholarships, that they believe there is a historical evidence for resurrection? No one.
That's a matter of faith.
No. History. Why are they not saying there is evidence for his resurrection?
Because that part is a matter of faith, not history.
Why not?
Because it's hard to believe.
Ah, so it's easy to believe in someone's dying, like crucifying. That's why they believe in it. Thank you so much.
It's easy to believe that someone was crucified.
That's why the historians believe he's crucified, not necessarily because of the evidence, because it's easy to believe. That's my point. Historians are methodologically naturalists, and that's why they take those rumors for granted as historical data, and they say, I don't have a problem with accepting that, because it's easy to believe. And they have a problem accepting his resurrection, because it's not easy.
One is supernatural. That's why it's hard to believe. It's supernatural. Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Resurrection is hard to believe because it's supernatural.
Correct.
That's why.
So,
Not because it didn't happen.
But if it did happen, we would find multiple accounts of the zombies coming up, not zombies, dead saints coming up from the ground. No one records it.
People weren't educated back then. They weren't educated in writing.
Let me put this in a scenario. Imagine, okay, hang on. Imagine now, these dead people came to us in the city. We're in the city.
We'd have cameras, so it'd be different.
No. We are now, imagine, let's project backwards. You and I are the people in the city at that time, and we saw the dead people in their worn out clothes, in their skeleton coming to us. Now, would you be telling your friends, family, children about it?
Yes.
Yeah. And wouldn't their children tell about it as well?
The people of Judea who believed in Christ were killed. They were all killed.
Did anyone from the city who witnessed this, did they transmit this information from generation to generation?
They weren't yes, that's why we have the Bible.
No. The Bible has only one writer called Matthew talking about it. No one else. No other historian, no other eyewitness or semi-eyewitness or third person, informants, whatever. No one talks about it.
Yes, because many of the people who actually believed and witnessed it were killed.
No. Come on. Now you're saying it's like a wholesale evidence being totally disappeared.
Well, no, we don't have. No, it's not disappeared. We have the Bible. That is the evidence.
But you don't have the evidence. You only have one individual called Matthew.
The further back in time than you go, the further fewer things you have to record.
By the way, I only gave you 3, right? If you're willing, I can give you more, maybe 20, to show you why Matthew is not an eyewitness. Okay.
Do a YouTube video. I will watch.
It's available as a book. The book is written by an ex-pastor or a priest called Gerald Dirks.
Do you have a video of it yourself?
No, this book is available as a PDF. Gerald Dirks. He wrote a book along the title of The Crescent and the Moon. The Crescent and the Cross. The Cross and the Crescent. And he has a chapter 7, if I'm not mistaken, one size fits all, and gives the examples of how Matthew distorts prophecies, invents it, twists it, and so on and so forth. So many examples. I only picked up the 3 because some people don't have the the time to listen to all. So you can go and look into it. It's available online. Yeah. So the example about the genealogies, that this man is, Jehoiakim is cursed. He took it out because it doesn't fit his theology. And he says it is all 14 generations and 14. When it's not 14, do you see any problem?
But the thing is that they say Jesus was cursed to carry the sins of all humanity. So what if this guy was cursed?
Look, when we talk about reliability of a book, we need to know which person is talking about it. If we have an individual writer who is now, after analyzing his works, we have doubt about his character, whether he has personal integrity or not, whether he's a liar or not, whether he's all truthful or not, whether he has a good memory or not, we will not be confident in the information he provides. From an anonymous writer, you're not going to take whatever he or she says and say, my life and death, I accept what they say. You will verify the information. When we try to verify information by writings of these individuals, we are suspicious about their character, integrity, because it seems like they were lying. Or they didn't know anything about history and writing about history. If I were to give, the husn al-dhan, as we call the benefit of doubt, maybe he's not lying, he didn't know anything about history, that's why he's making that, historical error, then you have to now say, how am I going to believe in a book written by a person who makes mistakes of history?
People make mistakes, but God doesn't.
But that's not a people. He is supposedly giving you information about God.
But then he's picking and choosing who's right and who's not
What
right.
about
It's
Muhammad?
according to you.
No.
about Muhammad?
So when you now, okay, let's leave that. So Bible, from what you can see,
Surah 22 something.
let's understand.
We have not sent a prophet who's not made an error or something like that. Even
No, the
Muhammad
Quran
made-
doesn't have an error.
Yeah, but
The Quran doesn't have an error. I'm telling you right
the
now.
Quran says that Muhammad.
The Quran doesn't have any error.
Yeah, but the Quran does say that Muhammad gave a verse that was from Satan.
No, the Quran doesn't say
It
that.
does say that. I can get the verse. It does say that. So even the
Okay,
Quran,
okay.
Muhammad
So
just-
let me give you something to work on. If he have ever spoke something from other than God and called it as the Quran, you should be able to find the writings about it, right? Some people have written it and saying, oh, this is the Quran. Yeah, the satanic verses should be available as a book, as a manuscript on the Quran, which has in it. So now we have discovered more than 250,000 manuscripts of the Quran from the first 300 years. Are you listening to? More than 250,000 manuscripts over a few hundred years of Islam. Manuscripts of the Quran. There is not a single manuscript that we know, we have found anywhere in planet Earth that has this verse which you are saying. So it's historically totally.
But they're still arguing about what it means
Sorry?
in this verse, what it
No.
means.
If you say it was part of the Quran, we should be able to find the manuscript.
Fighting against each other.
Yeah?
One ulama says,
No.
it means this.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. If you claim it was part of the Quran, we should be able to find a verse within a manuscript that is available all around the world. Yeah? Sorry? No, all manuscripts are burned. We have found manuscripts now that were saved in the mosque of Sana'a in Yemen. Manuscripts from the first 100 years of Islam. And these manuscripts are now being studied. And they don't have these verses that you say, satanic verses. So when we look at textual evidence, historical evidence, they don't exist. When we look at the internal evidence, it doesn't add up. It makes no sense. The time frame doesn't make sense. So all of that is just a historical rumor from certain zanadiq, some hypocrites and others, trying to undermine the Prophet, or some people who are called the pagan Quraysh, trying to say, save their face. Because what happened, the true history is this. When Prophet ﷺ was reciting this surah, and what happened was, Muslims, after listening towards the end, they all prostrated. So did the pagan Quraysh. Because so mesmerizing, so powerful. They prostrated at the same time with the Muslims. Later on now, they had to explain, why did I prostrate? So they started having stories and rumors later on to save their face. That's all that is. So no credible historian accepts that this is exactly was ever part of the Quran. Muslims might say, oh, we have some of these narrations here and there, but under scrutiny, internal scrutiny, external scrutiny, historical evidence, manuscript evidence, it's a rumor that is false, nothing to do with part of the Quran.
Yeah, but what about the verse that says that's where Allah is consoling Muhammad for accidentally giving a verse that was actually from Shaitan?
It doesn't say anything about the verse. It doesn't say anything about shaitan. No.
That verse.
You can look into it. So this
Which
told.
verse it was? It was Surah 222.
You can look into it. It doesn't say this that Satan tries to put something in the minds and people, but Allah destroys that plot before anything. Any whispering and suggestion that comes, Allah destroys that. So it doesn't have any place in Revelation. You can find it. You can find it. It doesn't give you any credibility like what you're saying. Anything that is now being whispered in the Satan to have anything to cast doubt in what the Prophet said from Revelation, it has no place in the Quran. Allah will destroy that, even from manifesting itself.
Well, how come there are so many ulmas fighting against each other?
Yeah, but look.
How come so many atheists are fighting against each other? It doesn't prove anything.
Whenever, I'm not. But it says here, whenever we sent a messenger or a prophet before you, O prophet, and he recited our revelations, Satan would influence people's understanding of these recitations.
People's understanding. People's understanding. And God removes the understanding and makes it clear. This is what it means. So you cannot have anything that will have any doubt being casted on the Quran. Do you know the Quran challenges the whole of mankind to produce a chapter like unto it, a surah like unto it?
What's that going to prove, though?
Hang on. Why are people, back then when they had all the abilities to imitate the Quran, instead of producing a chapter, a surah, they went to war? Like you're talking about war and so on. Why did they do that? Why are people today? It proves that it is not within the capacity of the creation to imitate or bring about something like the Quran. Because the Quran is not of this world.
No two people can create a book that is similar. They're always going to create books that are different.
Any book or a chapter, we can imitate its style. The Quran, you cannot imitate its style.
AI can, I'm sure.
You should watch my video with AI. Over 1 hour, I tried to help the AI say, okay, these are the conditions to it. People are asking in the comments, are you going to ask the AI now, next question, do you want to become a Muslim?
But I don't understand.
Did you hear that? Do you want to become a Muslim? That's what they were saying. Why? Because the AI is confessing and admitting, even with our linguistic and technological advancements, it is not possible to imitate the Quran.
But what does that prove? What if you
It
don't-
proves, as I said, this book with its stylistic, it is not something that can be produced by anything of the creation,
what if
because it's not of this world.
What if it's just like record-settingly bad? It's so bad no one can recreate
It's not
it.
bad, it's talking about the styles, how you talk. Shakespeare talks in his poetry in a certain way. We can imitate that.
That's such a subjective take, though.
You just didn't understand what I just said. When we have a particular style of writings, rhythms, and meters, and how many words in a sentence, right? In poetry. These are objective analysis, objectivity, not subjectivity. Did I ever use the word how beautiful, how nice, how emotional? Nothing. I'm giving you objective measures of
There are
analysis.
so many books in the world that can't be recreated.
Like what?
I don't know, just pick one.
Give me an example.
Well, have you ever seen any book be
No,
stylistically
what?
recreated?
Yes, we can. I'm just telling you, give me that book and I will do it through AI.
Have you ever
Mona Lisa is not,
Sorry?
Mona Lisa, nobody can imitate. They tried, but
Have you
no-
tried AI?
Yeah,
Have you tried AI?
everything.
No, you
They-
haven't.
They tried AI and everything.
AI
But
can
certain-
make, look,
Certain
AI
art
with AI,
cannot
look,
be imitated.
excuse me, can be imitated.
No, it's Mona Lisa they've tried.
Who said that?
What do you mean who said
Yeah,
that?
who tried?
No, who?
Wait, who tried?
What evidence you got?
Wait.
They imitate
You made a
Mona
positive,
Lisa
you made,
and they,
excuse me,
they managed
1
to
second.
imitate
Okay.
Mona Lisa. What
Bismillah,
evidence do you have?
Bismillah, Bismillah. You made a
You
claim,
always pointing at others.
You
now
made a
I'm
claim.
pointing at you.
now you're,
What evidence you have?
okay.
What evidence do you have that they tried and they didn't come up with Mona Lisa as it is, as it was?
Good, you finished? Good. You said they tried and they said it's not possible. Give me the evidence.
What do you mean? The AI, I tried. Everyone tried. I asked AI
You what,
to
did you,
imitate.
what did you ask?
Nobody can.
What did you ask?
I asked to imitate, to make a copy of as original as it is of Mona Lisa.
What does it mean? As original as it. What does it mean copying? What does it mean?
That's what I said.
No, what does it even mean?
No, you
Wait.
That's what I said.
Do you have that?
It didn't come
Which
up.
which
And-
AI did
and
you use?
Google,
Excuse me.
You Google right now, and people tried
Wait.
doing that.
Relax.
And they couldn't.
Relax.
How
Which
could
AI
you- how
program
could
did you use?
produce
Excuse me.
a
Hello?
original copy of
Hello?
Mona Lisa?
Hello? Talk to me now. Which AI program did you use?
What do you mean? AI? The AI.
Which AI did you use? You.
Claude. I
Claude.
use.
It's there in your Claude history? Would you be able to show me that you've done it not today, but before today?
Can I show you?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you asking silly questions?
No,
for?
because I don't trust you. I want to verify it.
And I don't trust you. You're
You
asking me
don't, you don't have to.
questions.
You don't have to trust
I
me.
don't ask
You don't have to trust me.
You
Did you speak the
I don't
truth?
care if you don't
Did you
trust me.
speak the truth?
Of course I did.
Right. So you should be able to demonstrate that you have asked that question to AI in Claude, right?
Now you.
Excuse me.
You have done the same with all
Would you be able to demonstrate once we ask for verification?
No, I don't trust you at all. Even if I
Don't trust me.
you,
Don't trust
even
me.
if I show to you, you
Don't
won't believe
trust me. Don't trust me.
You won't even believe me.
Whole world is watching.
Even if
So,
I show to you, you won't
would
believe
you
me.
would you be kind enough to admit this, that you actually asked AI in Claude, and it can be verified if people want to be verification, right?
Not in front of you, mate. I can do
Excuse
it
me.
in front of other people.
Yeah, in front of
But
other
you
people.
said-
Okay,
you
people.
said you
Okay,
already said
speak to the other
that you
people.
don't
Go on,
trust
go and ask
me.
him now, bro. Go ask him.
You already said me.
Go on,
told
ask him.
me.
Speak to him. Go on, other people.
Well, see, the face is
Ask him. Ask him. Ask him. Ask him. Would you be able to show that you indeed asked that question to AI? Make a copy like Mona Lisa. Go and ask him.
Answer the question. Why is he angry?
I don't know.
He's very angry already.
He's a comedian. Ignore him. He's a liar, by the way. Professional liar.
I've seen you online.
Yeah, a professional liar. Because he doesn't have contents, he has to beg to come to me every week.
Contents.
Yeah. To get contents, he has to come to me begging. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Yeah. But he has to come to me begging every week. Can I talk to you? Do you want to debate? Right? So ask him. Go on, ask him.
Question.
Don't go away. Let's listen. Ask him. Answer, please.
Why do you have to have a massage?
Ask him.
Answer the question.
Go ahead.
I'm not answering no one. But
Okay.
I'm not pushing
Okay,
in.
so coming back to you now.
People push
Coming back
me,
to
I
you.
won't answer.
Fine. So when we talked about the Quran, we can demonstrate from history. There were attempts made by people. Are you okay? You're feeling cold, yeah?
Oh yeah, but carry on.
You can push me.
No, you can go if you're feeling cold.
I want to hear what you're going to say.
Fine. We have many historical documentation of people attempting to imitate the Quran. Not only that, we have now a huge amount of attempts in the internet,
Wait,
right?
attempting to...
Imitate the Quran. And we can show you one by one every single attempt why they failed, because either they haven't even understood the challenge or they made a mockery of themselves, right?
Can I just
So
say, this is a really unpersuasive argument. I don't think it's going to work.
you don't know the gravity of the argument.
I'm just going to tell you plain.
You know what?
It's so
You're
unpersuasive.
entitled to your opinion, no problem.
Yeah, just like the people who say
Look,
the
look.
Quran can't be imitated because it's so beautiful and it's so perfect.
Did I say beautiful? I didn't say beautiful.
Many people say beautiful.
Forget the many people.
Okay, well,
You're not dealing with many people. You're dealing with me.
what about
So don't strawman the argument.
How do I know?
Wait, don't strawman the argument. So when the Quran offers you an objective falsification test and people fail to falsify the Quran, then you have to, as a rational human being, have your reasons why you are not accepting this as an evidence for the Quran's divine origin.
I have many of those contradictions. Like,
The Quran, even the Quran says, this Quran, if it was not from God, then there will be many contradictions. So according to the very principle of the Quran, if you found a contradiction, then it cannot be from God. So if I were to ask you to establish a contradiction between two propositions, how many conditions is to be fulfilled?
say that again, sorry.
Okay, let me ask you again. Even this liar, professional liar,
Don't be.
you can get help from him and ask him
No, but
how many
don't shout.
conditions
Standing here.
are there
Don't shout.
to
Don't try
establish
to dominate just by shouting.
contradictions between two
Keep quiet.
propositions. So if two propositions,
Give me the right cheek.
brother, if two propositions are meant to be contradictory, how many conditions needs to be fulfilled at the same time?
Well, common sense. Well, like,
No, it's not about common sense. Objectivity.
Would you?
Can you please debate this guy? I want you to debate
Objectivity.
He thinks
Objectively,
Speaking
go
to
ahead.
me, Mansur.
Come here. Come here. Oh, excellent. So, objectively, using, because look, a subject of contradiction is studied in the
I'm
domain.
going to go so you can talk to each other.
No, ignore him. Ignore him. He's a heckler. Okay,
Every
so
trick under the sun.
in
I'm
fact,
here, I'm here,
in
I'm
fact,
I'm here.
I don't speak to liar like you.
If you-
Excuse me.
So you were trying to
respect me. I don't speak to a liar.
I know.
Are you a liar as
Mansur,
well?
How is your business
Because I
going
would
to become
stop
better?
talking to you if you're a liar.
The massage business,
Yeah?
Mansur.
So
how is it
now,
going to
okay,
become
to finish the point, I'm fine. How are you? This is a challenge
Yeah,
to every single non-Muslim. Find out, if you didn't know, how many brothers, be patient, learn some patience, and ignore the comedians and the hecklers and the liars, professional liars. Right. I am saying to establish a contradiction between two propositions. The subject of contradiction is being studied in logic, the discipline of logic, mantiq, logic. Brother, please. Please. Logic. In logic, the principle are there to establish contradiction between two propositions.
I'm here.
I don't talk to you, a professional liar. Don't you get it? Have some self-respect, man.
Wait, don't shout. Don't
Have
shout. Calm
some
down, calm
self-respect.
down. Calm down.
Self-respect. Okay. You speak to my hand. Speak to my hand.
Mansur,
Right.
Mansur, Mansur.
So don't touch. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
encroach into
Don't
my
touch me.
personal space.
Don't touch me.
Come into my personal
Excuse me.
space.
Do not touch.
Don't come into my
Okay.
personal
Do not touch.
Don't come into my
Look. Look at this comedian. Wait. Brother. Ya Ikhwan, listen. He says, I've come to his private space. What a comedian. You came to my private space. Back off.
Stay away!
Right. Come here. Come here. Right. Don't come.
Stay away!
Right. So as I was saying,
Don't shout.
Stay away!
Your business,
Stay away.
as I was
Mansur's business.
as I was saying,
You've got to stay
Now
away.
you're
as I was saying,
Don't come in.
in logic,
Mansur.
the scholars say to
I'm
establish
here. I'm here.
contradiction between two propositions, there has to be certain conditions to be met.
Condition
Not
is you
one,
need to face me right
not
now,
two,
and we need to engage in a
but
conversation.
more than that.
That's the condition.
So,
So now I'm here.
why is he coming to my talk?
It's your talk, is it?
Yes, it was.
It's your area.
Okay, if I go there, it's my area, right? Okay, let's come here. Yeah. So let's see who's coming now again. Come here. Right. So as we are saying,
Still performing for the camera. No one's listening to it.
yeah, who's going to listen to you, Steve?
I'm not attempting to.
Okay, but I am. So I'm gonna. So
Come here to perform
because
for the camera.
because I want people here because he's not going to be at home in my home and my home,
camera. So it's
right?
not the
But he's watching as well, brother. To establish,
Focusing on it.
yes, because I want to.
Then you change.
By the way, before
And
you
you're very
came,
arrogant and
before
you're
I
never gonna
came,
accept-
Steve, before you came, was I pointing to the camera or speaking to the people?
Yes, you were. Before you
Now
stepped
now
over
you were
from
trying to
there.
demonstrate.
Why have you come to my private space?
Your
It's not a private
personal
space,
Personal
it's Speaker's
space.
Corner, you
Sure,
don't
sure,
say. It's Hyde Park, it's not
Steve,
private. You just described it as a private
Steve.
space. What a silly thing to say. What's a silly
okay,
thing
am
to
I in a
say?
private space?
It's not your private. Yes, you are now.
Oh, why? Why is that
Because
private
you're
space?
standing in front of my penis.
Exactly.
I don't know
so,
why.
Look.
I don't know why.
Look.
Each to their own.
Look. The little willy he has, that's not the point.
Mansur,
The point is,
have you come all
the
the way
point
to
is,
Speaker's
he
Corner
comes here
just to
in
waste
my
time?
private
Back to the
space.
camera.
No, back to,
Just
thank
to
you.
waste time.
Back to the camera.
Not the man over
So
there.
there are many
How
conditions,
many of you
and these
like
conditions
Mansur,
needs to be
being
met.
an Islamic apologist
Keeps
to debate
begging,
with me,
right?
who is a Christian apologist?
Okay.
How many would like
Steve.
to debate right now?
Go away!
Okay.
I'm assuming
So,
going to Speaker's Corner.
this is going
He
to
is
be.
not here to get his
Back to the camera.
trauma
Okay.
treatment.
Just come over there. Just come over there.
Take your camera over there.
Come over here. Okay. So, as we are demonstrating, there are people who are beggars. They keep begging and begging. They keep begging to have attention and have some kind of life and meaning. There are people in Speaker's Corner that don't have a life unless they are with the Muslims. Muslims give them life. So these individuals, they have no life without a Muslim. So they would come here begging again, debate me, talk to me, please, please, like he's coming here. This is harassment. This is harassment. Get the police now, please go and get someone.
Please call the police.
Get the harassment. So I'm going to end there.
Someone call the
No more contents. Bye bye. No more contents. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.